So how does Oracle go about implementing this? The term that Oracle calls is multi-version read consistency. What do we mean by multi-version? There is a possibility the same row could have multiple versions. How does it maintain it? Undo. Remember undo blocks when we talked about DMLs? That's the place versions of rows could be maintained. Basically, old values of rows or old values of updates that have happened are maintained in undo. So what is the default behavior? We have two things to consider here. Number one, statement level, and number two, transaction level. A statement is a single statement that is being executed. It could be a select, update, insert, delete, or a merge. Whereas a transaction is a group of statements wherein you close a transaction with a commit, which means I could perform multiple statements, be it select, DML in the form of update, insert, delete, or merge, and I want all of them to be committed together, and that is a transaction. A statement is a part of a transaction. A transaction is a bunch of statements which are logically grouped together from a business perspective. Let's first see how does Oracle behave with statements. By default, the behavior is that you always get statement level read consistency. Now, what is the meaning of statement level read consistency? If a select statement is fired, and whether it takes a second to execute or it takes 100 seconds to execute, the result set of that statement will be as of the time the select statement was fired. For example, if a query was executed at 10 a.m., irrespective of how long it takes to run the query, even if it takes a day, the result will be as of 10 a.m. when the query was fired. Which means, even though the query, let's say, started on 20th of December and goes all the way to 21st December same time. So let's say we started the query at 10 a.m. on 20th of December and the query ended on 21st December 10 a.m. The result of this single statement will be as of 10 a.m. on 20th of December, irrespective of whether there were any changes done by other users during this entire 24-hour period. The only catch is the undo table space should be big enough so that it can get the old values. What are these old values? Remember, readers don't wait for writers and writers don't wait for readers, which means the moment on 20th of December 10 a.m. user 1 fires a select, the select statement continues to process. It's going to take 24 hours. But in the meanwhile, other users could continue to make changes. They are not going to wait. The database is not going to make them wait either. Let's take an example of a row which is accessed by the select statement at 11 a.m. on 20th of December. When that row is identified in the database, the user should get the result as it existed at 10 a.m. So there are two possibilities. Number one, this row was not modified after 10 a.m. Then it can give the data as it is. But what if this row was manipulated by any other user? Now the catch is, has the other user committed as of 11 a.m.? If the user has not committed, then the task is pretty simple. Let the select statement get the data from undo and give it. Second situation, let's say the other user committed after making a change at 10:50 a.m. on 20th December. So when this select statement comes to this row, it sees that there is no log, but identifies that the SCN of this row is more than the SCN as it was at 10 a.m., which means this row has been updated and committed after the select was fired. Under such circumstances, the select statement will have to go to the undo space, get the old value for the other DML that was processed and give it. Now imagine a status for 24 hours. Any statement that could have been fired by any of the manipulators could have gone and changed n number of rows which my select statement is fetching for 24 hours. I need to have a sufficient undo so that all my data that is being requested by the select statement can be taken as of 10 a.m. 20th December. This is the default behavior of select statements, which is statement level read consistency, which is provided by Oracle by default.